Hello, students. It is December 2023, and what are you doing right now? Probably anxiously awaiting winter break. What are we doing here in Olympia? Anxiously awaiting the start of the legislative session. So we're all anxious, we're all excited. It is pre-session here. So what are some of the things that you can do to get ready for the legislative session that begins on January 8th? Well, the first thing that everybody needs to know before the legislative session starts, whether you're 8, you're 18, you're 88, is what is the difference between Congress and the legislature? Well, Congress, we love them, they're great, they're in Washington, D.C., the other Washington. We here this year are going to be talking about the state legislature, and that's here in Olympia. One of the most important things that you will need to know once you go on leg.wa.gov to find out who your representative is what your address is. I don't know your address, but hopefully you do. And you'll type it in and then it'll come up and it'll tell you who your 1 senator is and your 2 representatives are. Now, why is it important to know who these people are? Well, you're going to want to know what committees they serve on. You're going to want to know whether they're Republicans or Democrats. You're going to want to know perhaps what their voting records are. You're going to want to know, is your district a split district? Do you have both Republicans and Democrats representing you? Or is it a one-party district? All of these questions should be percolating in your minds because they're going to help you when we start looking at our bills in particular. So you may be wondering, why is it important for you to know who's in charge of these committees, who your legislators are, where they serve? These are really important questions and you should be asking them. And the reason is these environmental committees, they are the ones who are going to review your bills to start off with. They decide whether those bills go forward or they die. And the chairs of these committees, we want to know, what district are they from? Who are their constituents? Who do they answer to? And if we can answer those questions, that is going to help you in your advocacy. So as we continue to go through this legislative session, we want to start doing some research on who's in charge of the House Environment Committee, who's in charge of the Senate Environment Committee, who's in charge of the Senate Agriculture and Natural Resources and Parks Committee, who's in charge of the House Agriculture and Natural Resources Committee. These are really important questions because these people have so much power over the legislation that we are following. What bills are we going to be tracking? We will be dropping that information at the end of December. We will know what 3 bills we are going to be following and how you can advocate for those bills. Legislators love to hear from students, and they especially love to hear from students who know what they're talking about. And you get to be those students. You get to have that information inside you that you get to share with them. Why do you consider this to be a really important piece of legislation to either advocate for or perhaps to advocate against? And then, how are you going to get this information? Well, some of that is going to come from us at TVW. If you look at the video below, you'll be able to see our first video from your lobbyist, Marissa Ingalls. She's going to tell you a little bit about who she is, how she became a lobbyist, what do lobbyists do, and a little bit about this pre-filing period that we are operating in right now. And then, how are you going to get more information? Ask questions. Ask questions of us. On the forum, there is a little section for you that says questions for your lobbyists. Type your questions in there, record them with your phone and post a little selfie video, and then we will answer your questions. No questions are bad. We want to help you understand the intricacies of the legislature, the intricacies of these pieces of legislation so that you can be the best advocate for what you want. We look forward to hearing from you, and stay tuned for our first bill post at the end of December. I think I might be more excited than you are, but soon it's going to be you more excited than me.